It's a weird thing, man, to make a movie about a guy
who you
that
know is
might have been a liar and put those lies in a movie, and that gets all America all frothy.
This is
But
a
there
true
was
story.
I mean,
Oh, that means you know what that means. That means another fucking attack's coming.
does that what it means?
Yeah,
What do
so
you
we have-
think it's all orchestrated?
Because we got to get people ready to join up.
I don't think.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, it's better than a draft. I guess if you got to pick between a draft and
People rebel against
non-draft,
the draft.
if
Yeah.
like if that means like ridiculous propaganda movies coming out every year, then
You know what I think? I think you shouldn't.
Yeah.
No
This is
wars.
better.
We should fight no wars with anyone under 50. I think everybody who goes to war should be over 50.
world peace.
And let's see how quick we fucking settle this thing. I bet it would be pretty goddamn quick.
Oh.
A bunch of old people that just don't want any trouble. I mean, that
It was like, how can we? Is there a way to solve this without shooting them? It's like those
Feet on
cops
the
were like, he
ground,
was coming at
everything.
me, and it's like, okay, but shooting him to death is the only way to stop a guy from coming at you.
Because you think about the
Yeah.
consequences
Trained
of the
police
decision.
officer?
Think about the consequences of a decision to fly in a plane to a place where you've never been and shoot someone you never known, based on the directions by
someone
some
else.
people who you don't know,
Yeah.
who are making you march. They're making you go shum 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 shum. Rah, rah, rah,
Yeah.
rah. They're making you do all this shit, preparing you for. You have to listen to them unquestionably.
We gotta
Yeah.
come
No-
home.
But imagine that with 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Never gonna
No way.
happen.
We're sleeping in the desert?
We're gonna
No
go.
way.
Wait a minute. Why are we shooting these guys? Wait a minute. We're breaking down what door? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? And where'd you go to school? What's your degree in? And you're gonna tell me about international politics? Do you even know these fucking Sunnis? What's the difference between a Sunni and a Shia, sir? Tell me what the difference is. Do you know? Do you know why these people are at war with each other? Do you know why they hate each other? Do you know why they hate us? Do you know this is Holy Land? Do you know how long this has been Holy Land? Do you know when they're and you if you had a group of 50-year-old people
Go there and outslug it.
Sit
Outside the
down,
problem.
soldier, when I'm talking to you. Oh, you're loud, so I have to listen? Is that what's going on? Oh, you don't have anything to say, so you're
Not a
just
good
going to loud.
argument.
Are you going to get in my face and spit? Is that going to make me intimidated? And so I'll listen. So I'll just go and kill some people that you say are bad. If we did that, if we just had only 50-year-olds and above go to war, the whole fucking thing would change.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It's just, it's easy to send fucking kids. It's kind of embarrassing if this turns out that this guy really did make up all this shit. Because there's another article I'm looking at right now about the criticism of the post-Katrina New Orleans story, like how it's all total horseshit, how they can prove it's horseshit because he wasn't even there at that time. Yeah. It's like there's a lot of horseshit. I mean, there's Facebook
And in the
pages.
movie, it's all he's just trying to downplay all of his legend, even though it's like he's the one who was saying it.
Yeah,
They'll
I mean-
fry you for this if you're wrong. Good luck with your shot. I know
I'm not in-
supposed to
I'm not
help
in-
you out here, but they'll fry you for it.
Yeah, they'll fry you, put you in Leavenworth.
Why aren't you looking? You're the spotter. Look. You helped him tell if it's an IUD or not. Were you just crouching behind a wall? Just fucking up his shot. Or if you needed extra pressure on this.
There's a Facebook page, I'm not endorsing this, I'm just letting you know, that's dedicated entirely to the subject. And it's Chris Kyle was a murderous liar. It's a
Murderous.
community on Facebook. And it's all a bunch of different posts saying that, saying how much it was bullshit. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, I guess people don't want to. It's really hard for people to digest the simple fact that that war makes a lot of money for a small amount of people.
Does
It's
make
a
money.
profitable endeavor, and if you want to make money in that industry, then you've got to convince heroes. Because that is a heroic it's a really sweet impulse. The idea that I will give my life for
protect
you
my
to protect
fellow.
you,
Yeah,
to
sure,
protect people
sure.
I don't know. That's one of the highest human aspirations. It's like an incredible thing. But so you take those people who have this incredible aspiration to give their life to protect people, and you lie to them,
Yeah.
brainwash them, and send them to a place to kill people based on this very incredible
Noble thing. Yeah, they made
noble
Pat
thing.
Tillman leave the NFL and fucking give his life.
And by the way, well, no, Pat Tillman did it on his own.
yeah. But I'm saying, I put it in his mind, like, we need you to do this.
But
Fill up
Pat
your country.
Tillman was a huge critic once he got over there. He was killed by friendly fire, and there's
Yeah.
many people that have speculated they murdered him. They murdered him because he wouldn't shut the fuck up about
his
how
whole- and his
disorganized
whole-
everything was, about what a dog and pony show, and everything was fucked up. The people that he had to listen to were all assholes. He was like, this is crazy. Like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I wanted. Like, there's total chaos, which led to this fucking crossfire situation. He
It's
killed,
Pat fucking Tillman.
Yeah.
Tell him to stop shooting.
and then they shot him.
They shot his whole troop up, though,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, look, when you start shooting things, that's the other thing. They become targets.
Yeah, and then say we
become targets.
They don't comment on drone mistakes. They don't comment on the times when it blows up a fucking wedding convention,
which is most of the time.
It's like,
there's more mistakes.
The innocence, and they're like, our policy is not to comment on that. Like, wait, why is that an allowable policy?
Yeah, the percentage is terrifying. If you look at the percentage of people that are actually killed by drones that are their intended targets, it's terrifying.
Well, they shouldn't be terrorists, but they're not.
Surgical strikes.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? You're not. It's not a scalpel on the end of a fishing pole.
Yeah.
You know, it's the idea that surgical is retarded.
If we had drones going overhead, and then I found out who's responsible for it, Yemen, and I'm a little kid, and I'm like, this fucking Yemen drone that's over here killed my kid. It's like, goddamn right, I'm gonna want to attack Yemen. Stop fucking sending that shit over here. It killed my father.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but
why wouldn't they want to?
If you look at like we were talking earlier about what you were saying about these invading armies in Iraq and all the people that have PTSD and the birth defects, you got to go way back to the original Gulf War. They were using fucking depleted uranium, and everybody forgets about this.
Yeah.
Everybody completely sweeps this under the rug. It was proven they used depleted uranium shells that blew right through fucking tanks. This incredibly dense nuclear waste that poisons everything around it for 100,000 years.
And
no
that was
big deal.
25 years ago. We're expecting those 15-year-olds who are the 40-year-olds now to go, oh, well, I don't care anymore.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I'll just forget about that time you killed my entire family.
Oh, and you're right here? Someone representing your government's right here?
Totally cool.
But it's something that we're not supposed to talk about, just like the ideologies that we discussed earlier, just like religion. It falls into a religion.
You got to talk about it.
Nationalism falls into a religion.
If you don't all start talking about it, then you can't talk
about it.
Well, it's also because, like, look, there are bad people.
Keep talking about it. That's
right,
why the
man.
weed. It's like that's why it's all leaked, because everyone's like, oh, no big deal, right?
Exactly.
Everyone talks about it, becomes normalized. You got to just talk about it at all times.
Exactly.
With your friends, with whatever.
And it doesn't mean that you don't. This is where people get confused. It doesn't mean that there aren't heroes, and it doesn't mean you don't need a defense. You don't need to be able to protect yourself from some fucking North Korean asshole if that guy decides to start taking over the world. Like, what if they had massive resources? We're lucky they're in a resource-starved environment.
Right.
So you have this communist dictator with nuclear weapons in a resource-starved environment where they have to shut the lights off at night because they can't afford to keep them on.
Right.
But if that guy had oil or gold or something crazy and like Saudi Arabia type money, if like one of those guys became some sort of a fucking world-spreading villain, you need heroes. You need real soldiers that are willing to fight against bad people. Yeah. That's what happened in World War II, right? Yeah. In World War II, when you had the Nazis and all that, I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of complexities.
Nazis, they used the justified war argument as proof to get us into sort of way less justified wars.
Absolutely. And what we were saying before about religion
was the best thing to happen to the U.S. Army.
Well, we're saying,
like, look, now we can do anything if we just say we're doing the right thing.
Exactly. It's exactly the same thing we were saying about religion. Is that it's not that these people are bad people, and it's not that God is bad. No one's saying that, like, but what we're saying is, like, look what's being done in the name of this, and look how there's no thinking.
Right.
Whenever there's no thinking and horrific acts are being done. There's no thing. If you're ever in a situation where a fucking little kid has a rocket launcher, everybody should stop what they're doing, get the fuck out of there, and try to figure out, A, how did this happen? And B, how do you fix it? And the way you don't fix it is by shooting kids. That doesn't fix shit.